In the 21st century, artificial intelligence is the ultimate frontier. Now, any business can automate unlimited customer interactions, and advances in generative AI provide opportunities previously unimaginable. As we move forward, we must always focus on what matters most: interactions that are, above all else, personal, human-centered, and ethical. Together, we're creating a new era of customer experience. At Boost AI, we design virtual agents as essential partners to work hand-in-hand with humans in a controlled way. Whether as hyper-personalized and action-oriented assistants that can interact with thousands of customers at once, or as virtual colleagues that provide instant, accurate, and human-like responses. Our generative AI-powered conversational AI learns, adapts, and grows alongside your business without limits, in an efficient, responsible, and meaningful way, now and in the future. Boost AI, delivering outstanding customer experiences.
So welcome to Boost 2024. There were some key messages, not on this screen, but they were on this screen. There were some key messages on the video that you saw earlier on. Safe, trusted, responsible, human-centric, all topics that over the last couple of months you have shared with us that are key and important inside your organization for the application of this technology. And I think, sorry, going back a slide. And I think today we're going to cover each of those different topics in detail, both from the Boost attendees, but also from our customer attendees as well. We have an action-packed agenda, but just as a first show of hands, put your hands up if you attended last year. Fantastic. So Henry, we only scared off about half of the crowd.
Yes, and welcome all. It's really, really fantastic to be here today. I think this is definitely my favorite day of the year. Don't tell my family about that. And it's so fantastic to see this engaged community we build up with a lot of engaged people building amazing experiences every day. And I think we could envision this when we started the company, me, Lars, and Hadle back in 2016, that we're going to have this type of community creating amazing experiences every day.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the biggest Boost Camp we've ever had. It's the most international Boost Camp we've ever had. We've got attendees and customer speakers from Latin America, North America, West, Central, East, and from all over Europe. So really looking forward to that. But also the variation of use cases, whether that's agent assist, whether that's voice, whether that's messaging automation, and the different verticals that many of you are from, the airline industry, insurance, and banking. So a really big range of stories that you're going to hear today. But today is about, hopefully, leaving having learned something, leaving feeling inspired. And whenever I attend a conference, I always come away, or I go to the conference, and I think, if there's one nugget that I can take away from this, I feel like it's been a worthwhile day. So my challenge to all of you is to take away 2 or 3 nuggets and make it even more worthwhile at the end of today. But today is also about having fun. And there's a great award ceremony and a dinner this afternoon. There's an after party later on this evening. And on a serious note, there were a number of attendees last year, who is representing half of the room, so I'm sure they're here, who took the partying to another level. And we found out the following week there was a considerable number of people that missed their flights on the Friday. So if you want to miss your flight tomorrow, then hang around with the Icelandics. So today is also an opportunity to say thank you.
And thank you, everyone, for everything you're doing every day. The Boost would not be here if it wasn't for you. And I think just seeing how much application and how many use cases you're kind of building out with your project, with your virtual agent, I think is fantastic to look at. And I think some of my favorite moments in Boost is actually seeing a lot of those projects coming to life. We have customers, we have partners really pushing us to our limits in terms of what we can do with this technology. And some of these things I couldn't imagine myself was possible to do with the technology. And I think, thank you for doing that. We really need someone engaging us and really pushing us to the next level. And I think we have a lot of Nordic people in the audience today. And as I said, there's a lot of people from LATAM, we have people from the US. And I think maybe it's a good opportunity now to show the people from LATAM and North America, and also the rest of Europe, how excited and cheerful Nordic people can be. As you know, Jerry, we had Independence Day on Friday last week. And this is the day where Norwegians go out in the street, we parade, we make a lot of noise, we drink a bit. We're going to do that tonight. So I think with that, our thank you, and maybe we can kick off with a really big applause, but also some cheering if you want to. It's up to you guys. So I think thank you all, and give ourselves a big, big, big applause.
I can tell there's some Americans in the audience.
Yeah.
That was the whoop whistling.
And I forgot, next year you're going to wear this national suit we have in Norway, bunad. It looks, I think you will look really, really good in that.
Yeah. I don't know what that is, but...
No.
So, yes, this is your conference. And the goal of today is taking those messages that we heard in that initial video, trusted, human-centric, responsible, and learning about how organizations are applying that inside their organizations today, and what we at Boost are doing to allow you to do that at scale. We spoke about some amazing speakers, so just to give you a quick highlight, we have Matthias from Nordea. One of the key areas he's talking about is the passion and the passion needed to be successful in implementing technologies like this, and his learnings from doing that over the last 7, 8+ years. We have Ellen, an AI visionary, and I won't give away more of her story, but really looking forward to the topics that she's talking about. And Gudny from Iceland Air, which is a fantastic story, and I don't want to give away too much, but they made the wrong decision a few years ago, and now they've made the right decision, and some of the amazing things that they've been able to achieve in such a short period of time. And then, after a short break, we've got 3 more customer speakers who I'll speak to in a bit. But before we hand over to our customer speakers, let's take a look back and a little bit of a look forward.
Wow. Wow, what a year it has been. I think there's been so much stuff going on the last year. As in Boost, we had record year in sales. We had a record in terms of the number of customers choosing us. We actually had a record in number of conversations being resolved through our platform. So for us, it's obviously been fantastic. And I don't see any signs of slowing down. Obviously, things are changing. And I think especially around generative AI, making a very big impact on our industry and space in general, we are seeing so much opportunity. And actually at Boost Camp last year, we had a trial and a promotion for everyone in the audience to use generative AI, because we knew already at that time that generative AI is going to make a big impact on the current projects, both on new, but also the existing one. And it's pretty amazing to see that actually 70% of our customer base are actually utilizing generative AI in one form or another in their project. Some of them are using it to support the agent to be more efficient when they build the bots, and others are using it directly in customer dialogues, which we're also going to hear more about in the tech keynote. And I think that's extremely impressive, especially when you consider a lot of you are working in pretty regulated environments, so seeing kind of the pace of the team and the company coming together and getting this approved and getting in production is truly amazing. Because I think when generative AI was becoming mainstream last year before Christmas, we definitely saw there was big opportunities there. And the challenge is obviously a lot of organizations are kind of scrambling around to see how they can use the technology, but also benefit from going forward. And I think the innovation has just accelerated the last few months and year. And I think, as we're going to see, the things you can do with the Boost platform now is truly amazing. And we already tested out a lot of the new stuff. And we're going to hear from Paul today, which already have this new generative action in production, doing amazing stuff. In terms of AI, we know that's really not new technology. But I think the application for AI, I think that's really excites us. If you look at OpenAI Sora, you can now create amazing videos using AI technology. A lot of the text or the news you read today online is actually written by AI. So the AI is definitely around us. And if you saw the launch of OpenAI 4.0, you can see in terms of the voice assistant really picking up the pace in terms of latency, the delay you have in a call. So you can see that also on the interface as voice, there's massive opportunity for generative AI to create amazing options in terms of automation, but also customer experience through the voice channel. So I think everyone in the audience probably agree that we see big potential, but there's also some challenges with this new technology. It's new, so we need also to figure out how to use it in a safe and responsible way. And we also hear from the field that both prospect, customers, and partners are also struggling a bit to make use of the technology, especially when you use the technology just out of the box. Because I think the benefit of using a platform like Boost is obviously that you have the conversational framework around it, which means that you can use it in a safe and responsible way. Because some of the challenges you will meet by using this technology is just in general lack of control, and you also have issues around security, compliance, and risk assessment, and so on.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think, so I found this quote, we found this quote, is from 29th of February, earlier on this year from Gartner. And we engage with Gartner quite regularly, probably a few times a month. And I think this does reflect the reality. I would argue it is even a little bit higher, of projects where companies are trying to implement generative AI. And I appreciate generative AI is much broader than just what we're talking about today. But where they're trying to implement this technology inside their organization, the hurdles that they're having to overcome are the same, irrespective of the use case. And it's around poor quality, inadequate risk controls, escalating costs, and unclear business value. And they're the things in our discussions with you that do come up more regularly. I think we reflect back to the messaging last year when we were introducing some of our first features around generative AI, and we said that this will be on every single board of every single company in the globe, and fast forward to where we are, it is. So there's an element of pressure on everyone about how do we apply, or how can we apply these technologies in a safe and secure way whilst maintaining and driving value for our organizations. And that's where I see the sweet spot for Boost. I really do see the sweet spot for Boost in how do we take these technologies, how do we ensure that you can apply them in a secure, trusted, and transparent manner? How do we help you realize the value fast and play and test fast inside your organizations? How do we help and work with you both through sharing, and each of you sharing across the organization, but building compelling use cases to take across your organization to delight both your employees and your customers? And I think it was probably lofty ambitions from Henry and Lars 7 years ago around organizations will be conversational and the future is conversational. But I do genuinely believe today that that's not the future anymore. Today, we can, and technology's got to a point where that's no longer the limiter. Humans want to engage with organizations, and employees want to engage with organizations in a conversational manner. That's how they do it with their friends. It's how they do it with their work colleagues. So I do think, even though it says the future is conversational, I think the future is now. For the first time ever, we can achieve 100% resolution in customer queries. We may not choose to have all of those queries handled by AI. That's more of a corporate decision. But the technology can do that for the first time ever. And I think we're going to hear from one of our customers later on today. We can do that while still maintaining an extremely high level of customer satisfaction. And there's a customer you'll hear from today where their virtual agent is scoring higher in the NPS score than the human agent. And for those of you that did attend last year, there was a company called Numa, a hotel chain, a hospitality chain, a relatively new one, but one of the fastest growing hospitality chains in Europe. And they were 2 months into their journey. And they pride themselves on having exemplary customer service, high human touch, but inside their hotels, they don't have any staff. They don't have anyone to check in, they don't have receptionists, They don't see the room service. Obviously, they're still changing the rooms. That's not automated. But everything is done through WhatsApp. And so now through WhatsApp, guests can check in, they can order room service, they can see and help understand what there is to do around the town in which they're in. And all of that is handled now on the Boost platform, and it's scoring a higher NPS for them 1 year on than the human agents where it gets handed over to a human agent, which I think is truly phenomenal. Our job now is to help them use AI to complement the human agents when they do get handed over to a human agent. But I think for the first time ever, we're at that point. But, Henry, I think Gartner aren't quite there yet in their thinking about how prevalent conversational can be.
Yeah, and I think Gartner is normally very bullish in terms of their view of the world, especially when it comes to tech impact. And I think there's a quote here around by 2027, chatbot will be the main channel for 25% of all organizations. And I think this is maybe a bit unambitious, although this came out before generative AI, and we obviously know that has accelerated everything. But I think what is great is that there's actually a lot of organizations in this audience having chatbot as their primary channel. A lot of you are actually doing over 50% of all incoming queries through a chatbot already. So I think we're all kind of leading this development, and we don't see really this slowing down in any way. And again, I think it's just important to highlight that the goal is obviously to make sure that you handle all the conversation coming in, but I think raising the CSAT score and the NPS score at the same time, that's obviously the holy grail for this. And as with our mission, it's our responsibility to make sure that we can empower you, but also your organization, to build amazing experiences for your customers and also employees. But in order to do that, we need to provide you with a safe, responsible platform to do so. We need to make sure that you can always harness the latest and greatest in terms of AI technology. And as Jerry said, today we're going to hear from multiple customers which actually excel from this. So I think there's going to be a lot of good learnings being done today.
Yeah, just to re-emphasize the point, our goal is to enable you as organizations to provide outstanding experiences for your consumers and for your employees through automation and augmentation of the agents that might be servicing them. And we do that today in multiple ways. We provide pretty comprehensive training. In fact, I think some of the best training that I can see in the market. Academies, community, and a platform that means that you're in control of making those changes, amending that environment in any way you want. But in the conversations we've been having over the last year, having the platform is only part of the story. And there's another part of the story. So in our conversations with you, in our conversations, you, our CX champions, our conversations with our competitors, we talk to those as well, analysts and prospects, and the research that we do, there's another part of the story. And the other part of the story are our guiding principles. How do we as an organization make sure that we're focused on the right things to allow you to utilize that platform effectively inside your organization? And we call this the Boost Difference. And the Boost Difference is made up of 4 commitments. 4 commitments that help you deliver world-leading customer service automation. So let's go through those 4 commitments.
So the first one is our superior language. And that actually been our, I would say, key differentiator from day one, our ability to understand the incoming question from the customer employee. And I don't see this really changing. I think with generative AI, we actually see this improving as one of our main differentiators. And our ability to understand every question means that the customer we have could also have the confidence to put this on the front page, put this in front and center in terms of the customer, and then they can obviously decide how they want to allocate that conversation. That means that we can create value no one else can match.
And the second one is something that is becoming more and more prominent in the deployment of Gen AI and Gen AI technologies inside your organization. And it's having a platform that's designed to eliminate risk. So security has always been an important component of the Boost platform from a design and architecture perspective. But today, we take that even further. So the predominant customer base within Boost are sat in more regulated industries, finance, government, defense even. So it's been an important point for us as an organization since we started. But I'm pleased today with the introduction of the Boost trust layer that this only gets better. And the trust layer is consisted of a number of parts: data masking, pre-built guardrails, hallucination detection, complete auditability and traceability of every single conversation, whether that's generative or conversational, across the entire platform. And congratulations to the security team inside our organization. We recertified both ISO certifications, ISO for privacy and ISO for security. And in conversations with the auditors, and we went back and challenged them on this, we're the only organization globally in this space with both of those certifications in privacy and security. And I would like a quick round of applause for the security team in doing that.
Our customer consistently get payback on their investment within the first 12 months. A lot of customers actually get that within a few months, which I think is pretty rare in our industry, where you normally need a significant investment to make the bot work. Because we really want our customer to be able to kind of scale this project and the virtual agent and the number of virtual agents we see on different use cases across the organization, so you can make sure that you can get the highest level of value. And the value in Boost also lies in our ability and working together with the partner channel to make sure that you can get empowered. We can train you, we can get your people up as an AI trainer, meaning that you can control the project, and that means basically that you're putting the technology and development of that in the hands of people knowing customer service the best.
And the final commitment is the certainty that we deliver. And you saw the statistic from Gartner: 30% of Gen AI projects will never get off the ground for security, for value, for use case challenges. And I can stand here with certainty that that doesn't happen with Boost. And with us and our partners, we deliver both value, program and implementation success, and continue to innovate at speed. So with that, I wanted to finish on more of a personal note. I know that most of you in the room have made a bet as individuals or as organizations, and you've made a bet on Boost being the organization that can help you bring AI into your organization and drive value. And there's the famous saying that I'm sure everyone knows, that no one got fired for buying IBM. I don't think that's the case anymore. But in the AI landscape, I don't think that exists. There isn't an organization that no one got fired for. So it's a commitment on all of you, and it's a commitment from all of you that you've made on Boost. And this is our return of that commitment. And that commitment is, how can we help you deliver at scale in a trusted way with a high return on investment and a low total cost of ownership, and make sure that it goes successful? And with that, thank you very much. We're going to march Henry off the stage and bring someone else up. Thank you.
Thank you.